All right. Welcome to episode 44. We actually started this like 20 minutes ago and we forgot to record the audio.
So,
I
yeah.
forgot to record the audio. So that's my fault.
I'm already
so
glass in.
We're going to kick this off once more.
Knob Creek.
I forgot how much we'd actually done.
That's right. That's right. So, Knob Creek, the rye. This is the green label. I picked this out only because I've been enjoying Knob Creek lately, but I've not had this green label iteration of Knob Creek. So yeah, I went ahead with it. Pulled it off the shelf. We've not had it on the show yet. We have poured ourselves
The whole team's
glasses.
here.
Yeah.
Josh is here. Isaiah's here.
And we've all had some.
And we've all had a nice glass. We're all feeling good.
You know what's actually kind of interesting about Knob Creek now that I'm looking at the bottle is it doesn't have any like flavor profiles or notes on the bottle.
I think Knob Creek is just kind
Which
of
is
like
unusual though,
it's
because
a classic. You should just kind of know what it tastes like.
Yeah, but it's kind of such a staple of like all whiskeys and bourbon. They always have some like fairy tale on the back of the bottle about what it's going to taste like and the experience you're going to have. There's also little bitty things floating in here. So
What?
yeah, I don't know.
That adds to the flavor.
Yeah, it's probably like, I don't know,
cocaine?
wood grains or something. I have no idea. Yeah. Anyway,
Did you drug us?
not that I'm aware
Can we get
of.
demonetized for talking about cocaine or just if we say the F word?
This is a great question.
I think it's only if we do it.
Okay, good call.
Cocaine.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah,
We'll just release an episode with just the audio next week.
that's right. So we've already passed this bottle around. We have all had some time with it. We're not going to review it just yet. We're going to hold off. We're going to savor it for a little longer. We did a whole sports talk section already.
We did. We talked
about the Ravens.
Let's do cliff notes of that.
And Lamar Jackson. So we're going to do cliff notes. The big question, obviously, of the week, given that we lost to the Bengals last Sunday. Huge bummer. Big fumble. Big turnover. And now we're out of the postseason. But the big question being really is whether or not Lamar will come back next year. I went on for probably 5 minutes straight of my thoughts.
I went on.
So I'm a little, I'm going to let Courtney take the start.
I think
this, and I'll follow up.
All right, real quick. This was the hot take. Lamar's put out a cryptic Instagram post about, take care of the people that take care of you or whatever that was. Calais Campbell said, Lamar wants to be here more than he wants the money. We haven't gotten the offer. Lamar's got a banged up knee. They may franchise tag him. If they do, my theory is he gets surgery. He misses next year. He signs a deal. He gets surgery now. We could see him by midseason next year. Lots of fish in the water. We don't really know what the take is. As a team of Baltimore guys, this show, we want Lamar, but we really were talking about how his value is being assessed by him being out and how that is so accurate. And I think that was it. I think that really.
This is a good summary.
Yeah, I think that really covered it.
So
all in all, I think we want him, but I don't know how the front office of Baltimore makes that work.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. So the numbers specifically that we're talking about is there's a stat that suggests that basically on average Lamar brings us 10 points per game. Like that's kind of his net worth from a point perspective. If he's in, we generally net like 27 points or something. If he's out, we net somewhere around 17. So we had spent some time kind of discussing that was an interesting stat and how that correlates to somebody's contract value, like going into a negotiation.
How is that
saying,
quantified?
I bring 10 points to the game, so I'm worth X, but that's also based upon the fact that I've not played 10 games in the last 2 years. So that's how I'm able to determine that value.
Sucks.
Yeah. Seems like a weird negotiating point. That's
but that's why
that's
you get an agent. So an agent can do that for you.
He doesn't have an agent. He doesn't need one. And Roquan Smith doesn't have one either. And he got what he wanted. So there's definitely no agent coming into the mix at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
You can kiss that goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
Knob Creek.
But yeah, Knob Creek. Great. Yeah. Prediction. Do you think he's going to be here next year or no?
I think.
Is he going to play next year?
I don't think he plays next year. I
think you're predicting that he's not playing next year.
it benefits the Ravens checkbook to franchise tag him. The chess move is Lamar then gets surgery at the start of training camp with this banged up knee to scope it, and then he's out.
But can you make that happen though? Like, what if he decides he wants to get surgery now versus later? What if what if it works out that he doesn't need to have surgery?
Josh said last week the definition of what the grade 2 sprain is a slight tear.
Yeah.
If it doesn't heal as expected, surgery is the next.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is if in the off chance that it does heal and he actually doesn't need surgery, he makes a recovery outside of that, and they do franchise tag him, for example. I mean, does he have the option to not play? I think he doesn't have to play.
I think franchise, he's got to play.
Yeah. So he wouldn't have, but like my point is if you're going to franchise tag him and he's just going to wait around and not get surgery until next year, what's the point in doing that?
So here's my thing. If they're going to franchise tag him, if they don't make a deal by training camp, he'll be franchise tagged.
Absolutely.
And this will be the question. Will they create the ecosystem around him to make him want to play and stay?
Right. Because if they franchise tag him, we still got a loose checkbook. We can still sign guys.
Yeah.
Right? If we sign him with this money guaranteed, we're locked into what we have.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the Ravens bargaining. Like, listen, like, we can do this, but then we can't really play the market. Because there are going to be a few guys that are entering their last contract year or going into free agency this summer that could potentially work out as a Raven.
Yeah.
That we could sign for like a 2-3 year, $15 million.
Yeah.
Right. We signed Lamar for $230 million, 160, 170 guaranteed. Now we don't have that cap space to bring in a good receiver for 3 years, 15 mil, 2 years, 19 mil, something like that. A high quality guy.
Yeah.
We're back to the Deshaun Jacksons. We might get an Odell. You know what I mean? Like somebody that will not make a substantial difference. And we don't have any draft picks, so we got to play the market.
Yeah. Well, we're recording this on Wednesday night. Tomorrow there is a press conference. I'm going to predict that they announce his contract tomorrow.
I hope so.
That's what I'm guessing.
Why can't we get press passes to that?
I think he signed it.
Who are we?
I mean, we're press.
All right.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
That's a real loose definition of press, but I appreciate it. I love the optimism. I don't know. Why don't you write somebody?
Why
don't you get some emails together?
I'm gonna tweet somebody.
Get some letterhead going.
I'm gonna tweet somebody.
Yeah, send something out. Yeah. Send something out, man. See what you can make happen. All right. So my prediction's in, your prediction's in. Very negative on your end. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. There it is. That's Lamar stuff.
Since we...
A real, truly abridged version of what we had previously discussed. Sorry, guys.
Shout out to our sports followers.
That's right. All right.
You want to talk about this Knob Creek now? Or
we can get into the Knob Creek a little bit, and then we can kind of kick off our show notes. Josh, are you ready over there?
Are you prepared?
Are you prepared with show notes?
Of course I
am.
am.
I'm just giving you a little bit of a heads up in the event that you're
I'm
not.
right here. I'm ready to
typing
go.
a dissertation.
All right, great.
Get the pizza. Finish the pizza.
Yeah, finish the pizza.
No pizza
Josh,
this
do you
week.
want to kick off our Knob Creek notes?
Yeah,
thoughts,
definitely.
Opinions? How do you feel about this?
Overall, I like it.
Okay.
It's not a very harsh kind of flavor.
Oh, it's classic.
It's
classic
very
taste,
neutral. Yeah. Overall, I think positive.
Solid.
Yeah.
Liking the rye.
Yeah.
It's got a little.
I can give you some of those back of the bottle. I can't give you
got
all the
some tasting
fun
notes.
wording, but I can give you. Taste is a bold rye spiciness with undertones of vanilla and oak.
Yeah.
With an aroma of expansive notes, of herbs and rye with nuances of oak.
Okay. That all holds up.
Very
as
much
far
so.
as I'm concerned. I enjoyed a lot. I'm a big rye guy. So that really, this lands right in my space.
This is interesting because we had a rye last week and I did not enjoy it at all.
It's true.
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
This is not as sweet.
No, it's not as sweet. It's not as potpourri.
It didn't have the
potpourri.
Sherry cast.
Potpourri.
It's not as
Potpourri-ish.
potpourri-ish.
Potpourri-ish. Perfume, I think is what you said
Perfumey.
last week, right?
Yeah, it's very
Perfumey.
Good.
Has a sweet aroma.
This is way more, well, this is much more straight ahead.
Yeah, this is more-
not as, know,
It's much
odd.
less-
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
they-
is very straightforward.
This is a man's drink
It's good. It's good.
or a woman.
Real man's beverage. My gosh.
Artisanal. Yeah.
All right. Josh, why don't you kick us off? Lot of show notes.
Yeah.
So you're going to be really in
It's a
the
busy day.
cut. Yeah.
First thing is Training Day, and Emancipation director Antoine Fuqua.
There it is.
Antoine
Direct
Fuqua.
Michael Jackson biopic.
There we go.
Is it safe to do a Michael Jackson pick?
It's interesting. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm a little surprised it took this long.
Like the last, like they have that made for TV one, the Jackson 5 story that comes on like once a year, every year, that goes on ABC. It's really safe. It doesn't paint Joe Jackson in the best light.
Yeah.
But it is the Michael Jackson story. The acting isn't the best. It's literally made for TV. And in my mind, I feel like that's the Michael Jackson.
That's the Michael Jackson.
That's the
we know.
story. Like, I don't really think you need to do any more than that. Yeah, I think the Michael Jackson story can really be left alone based on like all of the stuff after his peak at fame.
Yeah.
A lot of it gets really rocky.
Yes.
And I don't know like what I don't want to be the person responsible for telling that story because I don't really know like what's true and what's not.
Yeah,
Like,
it depends on what you decide. Like, are you going to put like what version of his life are you going to tell? Like,
Are you gonna paint him as a villain,
are you going to get the
or-
younger years? Are you going to get the whole thing? Or are we going to go with
Yeah.
the accusations like
Yeah.
that? Like, there's obviously like different narratives, right?
Yeah.
So which are you going to lean into? I'm going to guess it's going to have some of the
It's got
some of that stuff in it though. It's got to be the drama and the spice. I think that's what's going to sell it, right?
I mean, there's a few things you gotta have. You gotta have the monkey. Josh. You gotta have when his hair caught on fire. Gotta have Joe Jackson in some capacity. And you gotta have when he goes shopping with the guy from Dateline. And he
Yes.
you gotta have that.
That's classic.
He's so how much is it?
I know,
$1
so-
million? Box it up.
Yeah, box it up. Now I feel like we're just like jumping around and just pulling like hilarious.
Do you
things
remember?
out of
Do you
his
remember
life.
when he dangled the baby over the?
And that, you gotta have
Yes.
that. Yeah.
See, here's the thing: when you do that, it's like, and based on who's directing it and the example he's giving, Training Day, Emancipation, he's gonna hit. Antoine Fuqua is gonna hit something.
He's got some bangers, right? Like Training Day is one of my favorite movies. He really crafted Denzel as Alonzo in a very villainous caricature of himself. And for someone to be able to do that as a director is just, you don't look at that character and think that Denzel can act like that, right? Like he's portraying a part. So whoever he gets that's going to play Michael Jackson has to be a great actor.
Oh, good call.
But then how do you...
I didn't even think about that.
It's odd because he was black at one time and then he was white, right? Like, I don't like, you know what I'm saying?
We're
Like,
still talking about Denzel.
like, how do you do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course it's movie magic, but like, there's a transition. There's so many points in his life where there was like, some weird stuff. Do you touch on that? Like,
Literally or figuratively.
yeah.
They're definitely going to go into it. They have to.
Yeah.
It's like, do you stick to the career and the high points,
Right.
to the activism,
Or do we get dark? Right.
or do you talk about day-to-day life of Michael Jackson?
Do we get into him and Lisa Marie? Like, are we talking like off the wall thriller, Mike? Are we talking about You Are Not Alone? Like,
There really is
Really?
quite the spectrum of Michael
Invincible
Jackson,
Mike.
really.
Like there's he's literally the definition of from child to adult pop star icon with all of the tumultuous stuff in the middle. Like if you're gonna craft a superstar life and lay it out, Michael Jackson is the one.
It's like
Like,
if you can make a child star's life into put into a simulation of things that would happen.
Yeah.
Kids would be the simulation.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Jeez. Good grief.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would like this is something I'm more interested in seeing how it's crafted than anticipating what it's going to come out.
But if it winds up being something that is like, are there versions of this you don't go see or you don't watch? Like, did you watch the HBO documentary? We talked about this, I think.
No, because for someone who grew up on Michael Jackson, I still wanted him to be a hero.
Yeah.
And I knew that these things were in some parts, in some aspect of it, something has to be true for it to escalate this high.
Yeah.
Right? Like something has to be off.
Yeah.
And I'm not implying anything, but something's not right here. There's some type of inappropriateness.
Now, would you ever watch the documentary?
Yeah. I just think at that point in time, I don't think I was like really like ready to. Yeah. I'm not ready to tarnish the image of.
Again, if it comes out, the movie comes out, and it goes into those areas, is this something that you avoid again, or are you just going to go all in and get the documentary and then hit the movie? Or do you not watch the movie regardless? I don't know. Some movies come and go.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a banger. Like if it's like, what is it? What's the A&E True Life, True Crime? Is that what it's called? If it's done in like the vein of that, where it was like the OJ story, you know what I mean?
Oh, are you thinking of True American Crime Story or whatever?
Yeah.
I got you. It's FX.
FX, yeah.
American Crime Story or whatever. Yeah. They did the OJ. They did Monica Lewinsky.
Bill Clinton. You know, if it's done kind of in the vein of that.
Versace.
Because those didn't really paint anyone as the victim. Like it was just kind of like, it was very imaginative in the way that it was like, you can take this and digest it and kind of create your own narrative of like who you think is guilty of what, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I doubt the movie is going to take a hard stand one way or the other.
There we go.
But the question is, if they do lean into some of those controversies, do you feel as if that is taking a stance? Because I think there are people out there that just like are 100% adamantly like don't believe any of those things. And so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there are people that obviously do. And in doing so, or in watching content that would potentially pitch one of those scenarios, you could be taking a stance.
I don't know, man. I just got to wait and see.
I'm going to need you to do some digging on this.
Yeah.
Soul searching. And I'm going to need you to come back to us.
Yeah,
and
this is a tough one, man. Like I still have.
Has anybody else watched the documentary? You watched the documentary? HBO?
Negative.
2-part?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, I'm the only one then. Very good. I don't,
In this entire conversation, I just keep trying to come up with some pun on a Michael Jacksonism.
No, we know.
And in my head, I just keep going, that's it. And
I'm surprised you haven't pulled them up on your screen.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Or at one time, he was literally the same color as Taylor and I.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, it don't matter if you're black or white. That's what we've learned.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, Mike.
All right, Josh, you can keep us moving through this list.
Next
here,
one is
bud.
going to be kind of 5-parter. I mean, in the notes here, it's the Netflix slate.
This is okay. Yeah. So this is a Netflix. Did you see the premiere thing that they did today? HBO does something very similar at the beginning of every year. Well, they'll create a trailer that has content or snippets from all of the movies or TV shows that they have coming out for the following year. So Netflix, this is, to my knowledge, the first time that they've done this. They did basically the same exact
HBO does this all
format.
the time, right?
Yes, they do it for every year. Netflix did it for 2023. So gave little snippets of a lot of the movies that are going to be coming out. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, so I saw a couple different articles. I saw one, this trailer in particular touches on, I believe, 15 films that they have coming out.
15.
I did read somewhere else that there are currently 49 films slated to come out. But these are obviously like the tent pole.
And these are like Netflix originals?
Yes, like Netflix
They get
made
in
these.
a bag.
But Josh, you can take us through the rest of the note when you get a chance. There's some more detail in there. And I also highlighted a couple of like, I guess, the key films that are coming out.
Yeah, The Extraction 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Chris
That's
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. I really enjoyed Extraction 1.
I did not see the first one. So check it out.
it's an easy watch, and it's in vein of like every type of
military
Black
Hawk Down.
Yeah, like
It's great.
but more fast paced and just action. It's
What's
just
the Chris Pratt one?
it's more like Rambo. Oh,
Like
Chris
Rambo.
Pratt was
Chris Pratt
timeless.
has one. No, he has a show. It's also in that.
Yeah,
space.
it's on Amazon, and it's like
The
some
Terminalist or
Terminalist.
Terminalist.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it.
Have you watched that at all?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, watch
Good.
that.
Like it? Yes or no?
Kind of same shit.
I think
good
it's
stuff.
something. It got like I think trashed by critics, but it has like a super high audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. if I
Yeah,
remember
it's got like a
correctly.
twist. I mean, it was witty. It's action.
Yeah.
It's Chris Pratt, so he's gonna have some one-liners that
Yep.
are good.
Yep.
It was cool.
39% on Rotten Tomatoes
critics.
and 95 audience scores.
Audience.
See, like,
yeah, that's
yeah.
a wild discrepancy
Yeah.
between audience and critics.
Yeah,
Generally, it's not
it was pretty good.
Not that large of a gap.
I'm not gonna say it was pretty good. It was an easy, enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
You can kind of just you and the wife just let's just watch this movie.
Sure.
And like, you know what I mean? Just kind of eat popcorn and just have a cool Friday night.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It
Very
was
good.
one of the, you remember like when we were kids and we would go to like Blockbuster and they have the special where you get like 4 movies for like something.
Sure.
That would be like one of the movies that you could fit inside that like budget.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I would just get this one
got
as to the cap off the 4 movies to get the special.
I got you. All right. There's a few others in that list. as
Yeah,
I
there
recall.
definitely is. David Fincher's adaptation of The Killer,
Yep.
starring Michael Fassbender.
I really enjoy Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of these movies, a lot of like the bigger ones, the David Fincher one, Rebel Moon, they all come out like end of the year. It's like November, December. These are coming out, which is a bit of a bummer because they're obviously stacking for the award season, but there's been a lot of hype around a couple of these films in particular. And I think a lot of people thought they were going to come to Netflix sooner.
Question: are any of these simultaneous releases? Now, me saying that
These are movies.
like but
Oh,
are
you're
they
saying theater.
and Netflix at the same time?
They did not indicate that, but I would suspect that some of these will hit theaters.
Because they did that in the past. My Hitman's Bodyguard, my Hitman's
Yes.
Wife's Bodyguard.
Yeah, they've been doing that. They did it for Glass Onion.
Yeah,
They did it for Pinocchio.
yeah.
It's definitely a format that I think they had to adopt it because they can't apply for Oscars without a theatrical release. So they have to do it.
Good for them.
But it
Smart.
also gives them a window now to make extra cash, which obviously Netflix
Do
is
it. I
trying
say
to
do it.
Yeah, apparently their ad supported tier has flopped, according to latest reports. I was
Good.
reading an article
Get
today
rid of it. You don't
basically
need it.
saying that did not work out for them as hoped, and that this quarter, once the earnings are in, are going to be pretty.
Ooh, shareholders are gonna be like, "Yo, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?"
Well, they're messing around with.
I don't think you can do that. That's not good.
They're messing around with the core business, bro. All right. Rest of the movies. There should be, I think, a few more.
Yeah, 2 more. You People with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah.
This looks great. And this is
Yeah.
February.
Yes.
I think this is early in February or sometime in
think-
February this comes out. So
yeah.
this is actually around the corner, which I'm very
We
excited
shared
about.
this in our little group chat, the trailer.
Yes.
And I think this is movie. I think this is great because this is our humor. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think like if anybody can pull this off, it's Jonah Hill. His wife is Lauren London, but that's awesome. I'm glad she's getting work. Eddie Murphy, like it's got some good people, and David Duchovny,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
man, it's got some good names in it, man. So from what I saw in the trailer, it's very on the it's very much on pulse of the times and like what those types of demographics kind of go through, you know what I mean? So I'm excited for it. My wife's excited for it too. So
That's great.
that's gonna be a good watch for us.
That's next Friday, January 27th.
Nice.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's so much sooner than I thought.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen Eddie Murphy
Hell yeah.
in too many. Like he did Coming to America 2, which was terrible. Then he had Black Dynamite, which was pretty good. But since that's it. He hasn't really done too much. And this is supposed to be like his comedic resurgence, and we're supposed to get like a stand-up coming soon too as well.
That's
what I
great.
heard. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Millie Bobby Brown, Damsel. That's October 13th.
Yeah, this is like a sci-fi like epic or something.
Really?
that they're putting together. There's a little bit of a synopsis and some more information on it online, but there's no trailer for it beyond the clips that are in this little like kind of teaser
What's the
preview
premise?
thing.
A princess is shocked to discover that she'll be sacrificed to the kingdom's sacred cave dragon after being married to her Prince Charming. She must survive long enough until someone comes to save her. Only no one is coming.
Yeah. So this
That's
is
dark.
Millie Bobby Brown is kind of like the queen of Netflix now, officially. She's
Yeah.
got the Enola Holmes series,
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Now
She's got a home over there.
this, now she's got this big movie coming out. She's really made a spot.
And she's
for it.
working on something with the Russo brothers, isn't she?
She could be. I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I've not heard.
Yeah, The Electric State.
Yeah.
Boom. There you
Yeah.
go.
And that's
Scheduled
going-
for release in January next
on
year.
Netflix, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She's
There
killing
you
it.
go.
Good for her.
2024.
She's gonna be like our next
Hey.
star. Like,
Yeah, I think she's already there.
yeah.
I think she's already kind of a star.
I think she
to say
had
the least.
Yeah.
So, the last one on there, Rebel Moon. Is
Rebel
that right?
Moon.
Very good. This is December 22nd.
Correct.
A little bit of just a handful of clips. Nothing.
It's just
Nothing
odd
great.
because I was listening to our episode last week and we talked a little bit about what this movie was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, I like literally paused the episode. I was walking through Target. I paused it and I started thinking. I was like, so you make a movie that's supposed to be a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Star Wars doesn't want it. So you take it and you just change the names and the characters and just still move on with the movie. So then I'm in my head and I'm like, are there still gonna be like laser swords and shit? I'm like, cause I'm like, what
Could
is the
be.
movie gonna be? Is
be.
it gonna literally be the invert, like the kind of like the heir apparent of Star Wars? Or are they gonna like kind of change the dynamics? Like I'm very, very in my head and interested of like what this is gonna shape out to look like.
I think most people are. I think that's why there's a lot of hype around it. So,
So strange.
yeah.
I don't
It is
like.
strange.
You create hypothetically, I create a Superman movie, and then DC is like, nah, we don't want it. Like, it's still gonna be Superman. I'm just naming it something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, they kind of did that with Brightburn, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
More or less. It's it's just like a dark version of
Right.
Superman. It's like a retelling
Yeah,
of that
if
same
he
story.
walk the other side of the tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it can work.
If he wasn't so super.
That's right. I think it can work. I think you can do it.
Yeah.
Speaking about the franchise, Snyder said, quote, "My hope is that this will also become a massive IP and a universe that can be built out."
Yeah. Yeah. He's I don't know.
I hope so.
That'd be nice. I'm
Netflix
here
is a
for
theme
it.
park.
You got to wonder if Netflix is going to do that. If they're going to do a theme park at some point.
Like Stranger Things
I mean, it's
part.
yeah, because you're going to eventually have enough IP
Yeah,
that you could. Like,
I mean, you could do an entire section on Stranger Things.
right.
for
you
sure.
know?
For sure.
There's so much there to unpack.
100%. What else do they have that you could like
A
build
Dahmer
on?
nightclub, like the Titan nightclub.
That's dark, but okay.
Dark.
I don't know how well that would go over, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Adam's Family.
type of thing going
Yeah. I guess if Adam's Family got a little bigger, they could do a Adam's Family section. But the question is, do they own the rights to the Adam's Family? They must.
I guess
Like, could you build a theme? Does owning the rights?
yeah, because you have the rights.
How many rights? Like, there's got to be film rights.
Oh, there's definitely film rights. And,
versus
yeah.
like the ability to build a theme park
Yeah.
off of
What
it.
about their civil rights?
There it is.
Yeah. No, but I like seriously though, like I would think that if you have enough of the rights to create a movie off of the IP. I mean, of course, that
I bet you it's
goes
more
into
complicated
it's more
than that.
complicated because
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
gotta
into
be more
litigation of like
complicated than that.
how expansive you can be because then if you build something, it has to stay there and you have to have the rights
Netflix
for it
has
for a
to
while.
have something else that it was like mad. There's got to be something else that they have that's big.
They've got some other stuff.
But like truly,
Bridgerton. I mean, I
Truly
don't know how you
original-
can.
Cloverfield, they got that.
no, but like truly original IP. Like Stranger Things is 100% Netflix.
Yeah.
All of these other things that we're talking about, Bridgerton, not so much, but everything else we've talked about so far is really pulled from something else.
Squid Game.
Yeah, like
Squid Games.
Squid Games.
That's actually good.
They could do that. That would be sick.
That would be cool.
You actually could like
You're just playing games.
Yeah.
Instead of
Oh
buying,
man, that'd be
obviously get to
sick.
leave. But that could be cool. Yep, that could be cool.
Umbrella Academy.
I never got into
but that
Umbrella
that came
Academy.
from Image Comics, I believe.
But they own that.
But they only have okay. So yeah, you could create something, along the lines of that. Umbrella Academy. It'd be very. I don't see the problem with like parks is you gotta. Parks are for children.
Wait a minute.
They're
We have Josh here. Who
no.
is
Hear me out.
a park professional.
They are primary. Their primary attractions are meant to attract children, right? But there are definitely portions of it that are made for adults, right? Like,
I think it's equally designed.
you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you have to actually
'Cause
even
the adults-
maybe the inverse even, because I think you have to design something that is enticing to parents first. I mean, if parents don't want to go, they're not going to go. Like your little kid's not going to like make you go.
Yeah.
So if Disney is a blast for adults,
Oh,
then it's an easy win to bring the
I'm
kids.
a Disney park advocate, so I'm absolutely. But I'm thinking
And
like
the rides and a lot of the things there are movies that predate most kids.
most of the children. Yeah, that's true.
Look at Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, the Night on Alley section of
Yeah. Universal.
Yeah.
that is not child friendly.
The Mummy.
Okay.
Men in
I see
Black?
what you're saying. Got you.
There was Jaws until they got rid of that. Jurassic Park.
Haunted Mansion.
Now I know there's like the Lost World now, but still predates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
This leads me. We can finish on Netflix, but this leads me to something else that I had a conversation about last week with someone,
okay.
which actually we could talk about.
I think we're wrapping up on the Netflix thing. I think we're all done.
Yeah,
there.
that was it with Netflix.
Now we just went on a tangent. So
Yeah, I just want. I kind of feel like it was a perfect segue because I'm a big wrestling advocate. Everyone knows that I watch wrestling.
yes.
Vince McMahon was recently reinstated as chairman, CEO, after being pushed out because of sexual allegations or have you. But he's back to oversee the sale of WWE to whoever the bidder is. And there was a lot of talk of Disney jumping in to purchase WWE because they feel like they can expand the IP way past just the wrestling aspect of it. Like
they definitely can.
and then my brain starts spinning. I'm like, bro, I could go to Disney, I could get an Iron Man mask, a lightsaber, and a championship belt. I'm on board. Like, I'm on board for it. It was just a one-off that just reminded me of that.
I wonder what the market is for wrestling. Do we know? What's the average viewership?
I don't know. It's
How many people
it's a
are-
$1 billion company.
How many people are out there though? I know you like wrestling.
Love it.
How many people in your life love wrestling?
I'm in a whole wrestling group chat.
Okay.
Like
How-
15 guys.
15
15
grown men
grown men, receding
are
hairlines,
in
guts.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
And this all for them started when they were young.
Yeah, kids, of course.
Kids.
Yeah.
So there's no like converts at an older age. You're not getting a
know.
lot of people that are buying in now
I don't.
as adults. I'm not saying there aren't kids out there. I'm just wondering.
I haven't met another grown man that was like, I just started watching wrestling.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I feel like if you didn't watch wrestling as a kid,
Yeah.
you miss it up until you're old.
Yeah.
Because my grandparents love wrestling.
Love wrestling.
I know way more old people who love wrestling
Mm-hmm.
than younger people who never watched it as a kid
Yeah.
and kind of got into it.
Okay.
I think you got to age with it. It's also like it's a fictional storytelling, but it's also a sport, right? Like it's called sports entertainment. Like these guys,
Yeah.
are still, and a lot of them come from different areas of sports engagement, whether it's football or
Yeah.
collegiate wrestling, and then they transfer over into this where they got to learn to play the part and tell the story, whatever.
I have more questions about this, but you do your thing.
Ratings from Monday, the 9th.
Yeah.
WWE came in at number 6.
What was 5?
5 was Sports Center. Weird. The post game.
Gotcha.
Oh, for Monday Night Football.
What was 7?
7 was also WWE. It looks like maybe it's a time shift. Like maybe they count the time zone separately.
Got it.
It says number 6 is 9 p.m. WWE USA. Number 7 is 8 p.m. WWE
That's
USA.
Pacific, I think, or whatever.
Yeah. College Game Day at 8. Number 9, WWE 10 o'clock USA. Below Deck on Bravo was number 10.
Nice.
What's 1?
CFP Championship on ESPN.
CFP. Oh, college football.
Okay.
Yeah. College football playoff.
All right. So a lot of people out there are watching it. That's what it seems like to me.
Yep.
All right. So let's say you know more about this than I do. We're going to take a quick tangent down this whole WWE thing just so I get a better understanding. Because I don't partake in it. I grew up as a kid, did a little bit of the wrestling thing. I had like a Hulk Hogan, like stuffed, thing or whatever. Like I had like some, whatever. But I never like attached to it like you did, clearly. So maybe you can enlighten me on some things. So what does it take? Like, how does the average person become a wrestler in WWE?
Okay.
And
It's a good question.
to
A lot of people
spin
don't
off
know.
of
Go
that
ahead.
too, at what point do you start crafting your story about your character? Or do they do that for you? Like, do I start calling myself something and then I just start fighting people in my backyard and then build up and build on that? Or does something happen and WWE is like, you're going to be the incredible
Something, whatever.
whatever. Yeah.
So, again, there's a migration. Like some guys actually come from the sport of wrestling. They go to college, they become wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're like, well, what else is there for me to do? I'm
But
gonna
when you're in college doing wrestling, not to cut you off, that's like a traditional wrestling.
right. Correct.
So at some point, is it like there's like scouts out here that are watching traditional wrestling matches and they're going, hey, that guy could be good for this? Because they're not like, I remember wrestling in high school. It's
Absolutely.
very different than WWE.
Oh,
is my
absolutely.
point.
This,
The person that you think of that does that,
Yeah.
Kurt Angle.
yeah.
Okay.
Kurt Angle.
So somebody's
Steiner
going
brothers.
around trying to
Yeah.
find somebody that could maybe fit the mold, and then you're going to be an entertainer slash
'Cause you're still-
wrestler.
You're still out there performing athletically.
Yeah,
right?
it's an athletic thing.
You
for
still
sure.
gotta be, and you still have to know the core aspects of wrestling. You gotta know how to hit the mat. You gotta know blah, blah, blah. But there's what's called territorial promotions, right? And these are very, very small. Like there's one in Essex where they wrestle like every Friday
Yeah,
night, and there's these
yeah.
local guys, and they go, they perform, they tell these stories, and these places are all over the country.
Yeah,
And there's guys that work for WWE.
that are going to be there.
I mean, they go around, they scout talent, right?
Yeah.
And what happens, they scout this talent, or they hear about this guy. He's out there going from promotion to promotion, traveling state to state. He finally gets a scout that sees him and says, hey, I'm going to invite you down to our performance center.
Okay.
And then they go to whatever this,
And it's like tryouts.
yeah. And if you go there and you perform well there,
Yeah.
right? That's when the big guys get involved and the writers. So there's a team of writers, just like any fictional
And they're scripting
show.
this out.
And there's, hey, either you already have a gimmick that works. That's what they call it, a gimmick, right? The Undertaker was a magical cowboy, a magical death cowboy
yeah.
man from Death Valley, which is a real place. But the gimmick worked, right?
Sure.
And they crafted it for so long that he actually was able to retire still for almost 30 years as the same character. He started in the early 1990s. And
Now, does he pass on the reins of the character?
now
Is
there
it like
has
monster
been,
trucks?
There has been characters that were, passed down.
Rebirthed?
For instance, prime example, The Rock. The Rock comes from a lineage of family wrestlers
Yeah.
that have
They were all chefs, actually, too. It's weird.
the Rock's people.
He had-
Oh, gotcha. He always does that to me. Yeah, he gets me too because I'm always like, for real? Yeah. No. They comes from a long line. Like even the current champion is part of his lineage. They're big guys. They get into football. Football doesn't work. They transition into wrestling.
Okay.
And it works out for them.
All right. And so how often do these wrestling matches take place? Is this a weekly thing?
For instance, WWE has 2 shows
Yeah.
that are televised, and it's Monday night and Friday night.
And is it a season thing, or is it every Monday, Friday?
Every Monday, Friday.
Every Monday, Friday.
Every Monday, Friday.
Same characters?
Well, they have a roster, right? And the roster could be anywhere from 100 to 150 different men and women.
Yeah.
And what happens, because they have 3 brands, you have the Monday night brand, you have the Friday night brand, then you have your Performance Center brand that performs on Tuesdays. And all of these people kind of fluctuate in between these different.
My gosh. This is wild.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy.
So
That's the most recent kind of iteration of it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's
And then there's AEW also.
Yeah.
You know.
And the performance center thing being its own brand is very, very recent, as of like 2017.
Yeah.
Like they just started televising that.
NXT, right?
Yeah.
And you know the stories, you know the characters pretty well. Like everybody that's coming up next week, you got their.
Got it. I can watch it.
You got
I
it.
can tell
You
you.
know exactly where they're at, what they're doing. So you follow the storylines and you know what's happening in their lives.
It's part of my Instagram feed.
Okay.
Well, he knows the storylines, not necessarily what's happening in their lives.
No, right. It's all gimmick.
It's a
all
story.
gimmick.
No, I
Yeah.
understand this. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna come on.
Their characters'
They're gonna
lives,
play a
got it.
part. What I'm saying is like you're gonna see this wrestler and you'll go, oh yeah, 3 weeks ago they did have beef with the other
Yeah,
wrestler,
yeah.
and now it's just compounded and it's
Wrestling
way worse.
is heavy on the long storytelling.
Yeah. Okay. Very
Some
good.
of these stories have been going like a beef, they have beef with you, but you're his buddy, so I'm going to wrestle you this week. That's going to lead us to the next pay-per-view
Yeah.
as a tag match with me and Taylor. And then since Taylor's my buddy, you're going to wrestle him on the next week. So it's just a long snowball of storytelling.
Yeah. And how long is an episode? Or I mean, is that what they call them?
Crap, it's like 3 hours.
God,
Monday night is like 3 hours. I think Friday's 2 hours.
that's insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to be upset because all of my favorite wrestlers were always on Monday Night Raw, and they kind of treat the 2 segments as conferences.
Yeah.
So like you'll almost never see a Monday Night Raw wrestler
Mm-mm.
on Friday Night SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So like my favorite wrestler growing up, Randy Orton,
Yeah.
but Randy Orton wrestled Monday Night Raw, so I never saw.
Never got to see him. Yeah.
Whereas
Friday nights, he get to stay up late. He gets to watch him on Friday.
Edge, because Edge was on Friday night.
Yeah.
And that's so telling, because when I was coming up, younger, those guys were called jobbers. They're new to the business. They don't really have any story to tell. They're under the main guys, the undercard guys. And then as I got older and he got older, they're the main guys for him. It's the long story. So these guys go 20, 30 years. Ric Flair is still wrestling.
Well, good for them, man.
Woo! There you go.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Ric Flair,
Man. I'm getting educated over here. All right, Josh, back to you.
All right, Magic Mike.
What a segue.
Did you put that on there?
No, it's Channing Tatum.
I was like, I don't know this one. There's 2 Channing
I was like,
Tatum.
there's another one?
There's 2 pieces of Channing Tatum news here. that
Two
are
correct.
pretty
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, two-part.
Gambit
Yep.
and Ghost.
Yeah, so I felt like the Gambit thing you might be able to speak to because I felt like you'd be more in on that. But apparently he'd been trying to kick off a Gambit
For a
film for a
while.
long time.
And I think from my recollection is his production company was going to put this together, much like Ryan Reynolds did Deadpool, and it got caught in the entanglement of Disney buying Fox.
Yeah.
And when Disney bought Fox and got the rights back to all of these X-Men characters, they were kind of done in the his negotiations to do the movie were just kind of dead in the water.
Yep.
And he's still like, hey guys, like apparently the headline was like he calls Marvel like twice a week or once a week.
Still trying to make it happen.
Like, hey, we can still do this. And they're just kind of like, we're not doing that, bro. Like we're done.
Yeah, it's not happening. Not with you. Not now.
I don't want it. Nah,
Well, you're not going to get it.
thank you.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
don't want that crap.
You're welcome. But you know what you are going to get? A Ghost remake. Channing Tatum is going to be Patrick Swayze.
Are they going to do the
in
pot?
Ghost. You have to do the pot.
You got to do the pot.
It's the only reason that you watch Ghost.
You don't remember the pot?
The pot scene when they're making the pot. The clay pottery.
No, I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
Were they making a pot? It was a pot, wasn't it? The vase of
It was
Oz?
a vase of Oz. Yeah.
They're making something.
They were making, yeah.
But
Play works. That's
but
what
yeah,
they were doing.
he's apparently he's going to be
Just the image,
reprising that role.
the preview image.
Classic.
That was foreshadowing for sure.
My God.
Allegory all the way.
Classic.
Yeah.
God bless.
Okay. I don't take Channing Tatum as a serious actor. Never have. And I don't think I ever will.
Has he done a serious role?
He did a thing with the dog.
Yeah.
But wasn't that a little bit more
That
like
was still kind of campy.
family kind of comedy kind of?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't.
Was that truly like
His
a drama?
Wikipedia looks like Zoolander.
Yeah, it does.
He looks like Owen Wilson right there.
He does kind of.
Yeah. I don't.
Wow.
I feel like his brand has gone too hard.
Yeah.
On the comedy side of things.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I've seen him pull a Jonah Hill yet.
He hasn't done a Chris Hemsworth.
Maybe it'll happen.
An Extraction. And he's never in the conversation
He
when
was
they
in
talk
G.I.
about.
Joe.
Was it good though?
No, but I'm just saying he was.
Yeah.
Was in the.
He just
military
never.
movie.
When you think of action heroes or someone who he has the look, who could come in and take over a franchise,
He looks a little young.
but he's got to be 45 by now.
The only two movies I'll kind of give him seriousness on
42.
is, The Eagle and Foxcatcher.
Oh, Foxcatcher was pretty rad. I forgot that he was in that. That would have been him in a very serious role.
Yeah.
That was a very good movie.
He did good in
It's a very good movie. That's not to discredit his other work. I mean,
Magic
21 Jump Street is
Oh
great.
yeah, I love it.
Those movies are amazing.
22
So
Jump Street.
Good. So good. Anyway.
Gotta get that 23.
Yeah.
He's in an upcoming film called Pussy Island, directed by Zoe Kravitz. Premise: a cocktail
course,
waitress
of
becomes
course.
infatuated with a tech mogul and travels with him to his private island where things begin to go wrong.
Cool.
Is it a horror movie?
My God.
Directed by Zoe Kravitz. I don't know how good that's going to be.
Man, we'll find out.
Nepotism.
All right, Josh. Keep us going here.
Yeah, next up,
You
Marvel in China.
drive the boat.
Wow. What'd you call me?
Hey. Yeah, so Marvel had been
Banned?
banned, kind of unofficially, but officially banned in China since 2019. So it's been several years. Actually, it's been several years since any major studio has had a release in China. Things are a little
Dicey.
a little tight over there with the government. And Avatar is the first thing to really kind of
Break the water.
break the seal, if
Break
you
the
will.
ice.
Which Disney, man, they moved mountains for that.
Yeah,
their whole box office is really predicated on the success in China. So, anyway, it seems like they're opening things back up. Like I said, Avatar was the first one. Now you're going to get Black Panther. You're going to get Ant-Man. One's releasing in February. I think the other is releasing shortly thereafter. And the fun note that I had on that note was that Top Gun did not get a release there because it showed the military strength, the U.S. military strength, and that does not go over in China.
They don't like that.
No
Definitely not.
Maverick, but that makes you wonder if they had, where would we be total box office numbers? I mean, my God,
2-3 billion. Easy,
huge, dude,
easy.
huge.
But you jealous?
Robbed.
You're not gonna allow Top Gun to be the top grossing movie of all time because you're jealous.
Tom Cruise got robbed, bro. I didn't realize I didn't realize it never played in China. That's like such a massive market for movies. Like I did not know that.
And it makes you think like how much money movies have lost in this 2 years because they couldn't release over there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
crazy.
Like James Cameron got a cheat code.
You gotta be excited.
He's got a cheat code to it.
Yeah, that's why it's the all-time gross right now.
Speaking of James Cameron, and
Let's go.
and I didn't watch anywhere near the
too
entire.
much real estate on this show.
I didn't watch the entire video, but there was a thing on Reddit today, a 30-minute video of him talking about tripping on acid in the 70s. And he tells a
He's tripping on it
story.
now. He thinks it's the 70s.
He tells a story of this video has to be at least 30 years old.
now we have Pandora.
It was ripped from a VHS, but he tells a story about tripping while around a campfire that his wife fed using just trash from the floor of the car. And included in that trash was a box of shotgun shells that he had forgotten was there. And then his attempting to put the fire out while the shotgun shells are going off. This was just the first 3 minutes of this 30-minute video.
My gosh.
While you're tripping on acid, the shotgun. How do we know he didn't actually just imagine all of this?
Yeah,
Because,
I mean, entirely possible.
yeah.
I think what Josh is saying
Is
he completely imagined all
oh yeah, right. Yeah. And then he came up with the script for Avatar.
There it is.
That's right.
Loser.
And now $6 billion later. Yeah. So I thought that was a fun little piece of information that came out. I was reading that article today. I thought that was pretty interesting. Thought you might like that. Seeing how Marvel's obviously been getting
That's kind of
a lot of smoke.
Do we initially know why it was banned? I mean, outside of COVID?
I don't think they specified
I almost made a joke that was
political stuff.
I'll save it for off air.
Politics.
We're
What came out?
already on
Okay,
thin
so
ice.
what came out in 2019, Marvel wise, and would any of it had
I think we were
overtly American themes?
Captain America.
That was 2019.
Captain Marvel was 2019.
I think Endgame was
Is there
2019.
any? Were there any like LGBTQ components to those movies? Because that doesn't go over very well.
Oh, yeah, they don't like that either.
Any girls kissing?
Like, was there anything in Captain Marvel?
boys holding
or
hands?
anything? Because it would have been something that probably like, you know,
They're just so tough over there. Like,
something happened that they don't like.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh yeah. Then
I don't know. I'm not sure.
They just control everything that everybody watches over there. So
Yeah.
it could have been
But
one small nuance.
it probably was the COVID thing. I mean, because you got to remember, theaters were shut down.
And it was that back cracking scene.
It's
in
2020.
Spider-Man. They didn't like that.
2020, COVID, right? That was 2020, right? Yeah, 2020. Yeah.
Mark, yeah.
So movie theaters were closed for a long time. Might have even been just that. Who knows? All right, Josh, keep us going. here, buddy.
Endgame and Far From Home were both shown in China.
Oh.
But were they 2019? When were
Yes,
they? 2019.
they were 2019. They were the last ones. There's a strict censorship, and the release of foreign films is limited in order to promote domestic films.
Interesting.
Is what?
They say the main reasoning for the ban includes LGBTQ plus characters.
Who is it though? I'm
That's
trying
what.
to
Yeah,
think.
that's what I was trying to figure out.
They're definitely not gonna like Wakanda forever.
Maybe they edited that.
There's black girls kissing in that joint. They ain't gonna like that at all.
Maybe they adjusted it. Maybe they cut it out.
Oh, true. I'm trying to think. Like an Endgame, like I don't know. Yeah,
Maybe it was like I'm not sure. Maybe overtly American. I'm not sure.
NBC also remarks that Eternals director Chloe Zhao
Oh yeah.
being critical of China,
She better,
the government rather.
She better chill.
That'll do
She
it.
better chill. Because we do like part one of the shows on like the girl that was like over there and she just disappeared. We covered
did
that.
talk about that. Yeah.
And like she like released a video clearly, and she was like in a hotel room, like reading a script. Like,
I'm fine. It's fine.
I'm okay. There's definitely a guy off camera. Yeah, nah. I don't know, man. Very shady over there. She better chill. I don't want her to go missing. We need that Eternals too.
All right. Velma season 2.
And did you watch any of them?
No, I was surprised that this made the notes. To be
Stupid,
honest.
ridiculous. So
Have you seen it?
I watched a little bit of like the first episode.
I've seen like it pop up. Like,
Shaggy's like black
some
with
drama.
like a Fresh Prince type hair, which is crazy. So
Can you do a Shaggy voice as a black dude?
no. Yeah, so that's the backlash to the show.
Got it.
They're saying that she takes these characters and makes them very obscure and different and pushes some type of narrative.
Is it a kid show?
No, it's in the vein of like the Harley Quinn show.
It's an adult show.
Yeah, it's an adult cartoon. Very graphic, very vulgar. And Velma is a now brown woman
Mindy Kaling.
Yeah. Shaggy is a black guy, but there's no Scooby-Doo in it at all. And it makes me think, were they even allowed? Yeah, like
They couldn't have been allowed
to even use the dog because of the IP rights, right? So she's just using like the characters in a very millennial-esque light.
Okay.
That's who it's for. It's
Her.
probably for
Yeah.
people from 30 to my age.
Yeah. Daphne is, Daphne, yeah. What's his name? Where's the white with the
Fred.
Fred is a dickhead and
He's a dickhead, but he's also he's still rich.
yeah.
He's also very flawed in that he doesn't so the storyline around Fred right now is because I watched those episodes.
Okay.
I'm a Scooby-Doo fanatic. I love Scooby-Doo.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
It's my favorite cartoon of all time.
Did not know that about you. Okay.
It paints them in the light of, if you're an adult watching Scooby-Doo, you kind of think these things about these characters, except for Shaggy. He's the opposite.
He's the total opposite. Like he's like a tech genius, kind of like. Yeah, it's very odd.
Shaggy is what you think Shaggy would be if he didn't smoke so much pot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing with Fred is he's such a pampered rich kid that he never fully developed out of his adolescence into puberty. So like he has a very clean shaven face. He doesn't have a really hairy body. And that's played up onto who's committing these serial murders on the show in the first 2 episodes.
Interesting. Okay.
And this is Glenn Howerton
Yeah.
as Shaggy and Sam Richardson.
All right.
So it's just very.
I'm sorry, other way around.
It's a very obscure take on the Scooby-Doo characters.
Yeah, I get that.
And there was a lot of backlash on it. Of course, the boomer Scooby-Doo enthusiasts are just not about this at all. There's like graphic murder in it. And I don't know if you guys watched any of the Harley Quinn, but it's very much in the same type of vein of comedy. Yeah.
Partial nudity. It's like.
It's crazy.
It's like if Scooby-Doo met Family Guy.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. We would like it. I can see why the older generation Scooby-Doo
Is it
enthusiasts
funny? Is that the idea?
Yeah,
it's comical.
definitely
It's
funny.
comical.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely funny. Yeah.
Very good.
So,
Let's
yeah.
give it a shot.
But it's renewed for season 2 already. That was the point. It's already given. They already got the green light. Shout out to Mindy.
Way to go.
All right, Mandalorian season 3 trailer.
Yes.
Did you see it?
The big old trailer
see it?
drop, the big old release. Yeah, I saw it.
Shoot.
You
God, I don't know.
no.
I think
Ugh.
I didn't see anything in it that
Excited you?
I got excited for the trailer. I got excited seeing these characters again. Nothing in it excited me story-wise. I don't know. I still don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like it's more of a teaser
It's a teaser, yeah.
than it is like a story trailer, but I don't really think you'll feel like you get like storyline trailers for TV shows for the most part. You can't really put it all in
It's
there.
just clips.
I mean, obviously he's going back to Mandalore. He's going to confront whatever that is.
Because he's the king of Mandalore right now because he has the light, the
he's
dark saber,
gonna-
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Whether or not, I don't know if that's like official. I mean, he has the dark saber. Does that
means
make
he's the
him
king.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
He won it in battle because he took it from Moff.
So he's got to go confront that whole situation and figure out what's going on there.
Yeah. All right. I'm on board.
We've got some Jedis in it.
Yeah.
We saw that,
Yes.
you know?
Oh, I think the big cusp in it now is we're going to see parts of Order 66. I think that's why we saw the Jedis.
Yeah.
I read that somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm on
so
board.
that seems, I feel like you're downplaying it.
Me?
Yeah.
Order 66?
You were like, nothing's happening in this. There's nothing fun.
No, I just didn't
nothing-
see anything.
I think you saw all the things that I saw.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Well, March 1st, you don't got to wait much longer.
I know it's
Yeah, a
soon,
month
right?
coming
Yeah.
up. Soon. Knocking on the door. Yeah.
It's very, very close.
I'm excited for it. I think it looks good. I think it looks great.
It looks
I'm glad-
great.
Yeah.
Grogu's back.
The whole team. I love it. I'm
When
excited.
are they going to bring Jar Jar Binks back?
It's a great question. I'm actually a little surprised they haven't because he's kind of a fan favorite
People
now.
really like him.
He was hated for so long, and now he's just beloved.
Yeah. Misa. Yeah. He's got to come back.
That was good.
I love the you
I was
ever,
going to say Misa on.
you ever read the
Done.
God, you ever, the not the conspiracy, but like the alternate, like I guess plot line where he's a villain.
He's a Sith. He's actually a Sith Lord.
I love that.
Pretending to be an advocate for the and he's actually the one behind all of this.
I enjoyed it.
There was even talk of that actually being him in what was it, Rise of Skywalker, or one of them that was behind the plan of what was the Darth whoever Adam Driver cut in half. I can't remember. Those movies were so bad.
Man, I only ever saw him once.
Yeah, I saw him
I did
one
not
time,
rewatch any of those.
and I was like, I'm good on these. There was
what are you gonna do?
Good scenes, bad movies.
All right, Joshy boy. Moving right along, dude.
Last one. Oh, I'm sorry, not last one. Adam Sandler.
What's he doing?
The Safdie brothers.
Yep.
He's just kind of confirmed that he's working with the Safdie brothers on their next film. It's in progress.
What did the Safdie brothers do?
Safdie brothers, they did Good Times,
Uncut Gems.
Good Time, Uncut Gems.
Oh, so he's going to do more high-paced, anxiety-ridden movies.
Yeah.
Oh, just go back to Happy Madison, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed Uncut Gems and
does have a comedy coming out on
basketball
Netflix.
but like they were just so like really like pulse driven.
They're very intense.
Yeah, very intense, man.
It's not for me, but I get it.
My Apple Watch was going crazy. Like, bro, you get out of there.
Get out.
Could not do it.
What's our last piece? Oh, wait. It was a fun piece of news, wasn't it? It was. Oh, this was... What's his name? He killed the dove, or the pigeon.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay is currently in trouble for potentially having killed a pigeon. The Italian government is claiming that he killed a pigeon several years ago while making 6 Underground. Is that the movie?
Correct.
And he has gone to court 3 times over this to get it thrown out, unsuccessfully so. The fine,
did he pull a pistol out of his trousers and shoot a pigeon out of the sky?
Apparently there is video that somebody has.
It's funny that you say that. Sorry, did he? because
that's exactly what he did.
It's not what he did. I can't say that that's what he did. But
Okay.
just searching Michael Bay pigeon, which Google suggests for me. The first one is from Variety. Michael Bay blasts reckless and false story, and he's saying that he pulled.
Like,
So there apparently is a video, or there is some evidence that somebody that was, I guess, affiliated with the movie, like, has turned over. There's something to suggest that he did this. He has turned over a lot of evidence, again, according to him and his camp. He has turned over a lot of evidence to contradict said evidence against him. And anyway, so it's been thrown out 3 times in court. The fine that he is responsible to pay, or is expected to pay, is a pretty modest. They didn't say specifically what it was, but it's not like a hugely expensive fine. But he refuses to pay it because he claims that he's 100% innocent and he doesn't want to be seen as like somebody who has killed animals. He claims that he's like an animal lover, like a big animal advocate. So he's been basically fighting. I don't know how much money he's poured into this at this point. But
Vulture.com has a story titled Michael Bay really doesn't want to be called a pigeon killer.
That's right. This is amazing.
like, I don't know. It's really racist, but in my head, I just hear Mario telling Michael Bay, "You's got to pay."
Apparently, pigeons they're protected. It's a protected bird in Italy. So
Pigeons are like the rats of American birds. Like,
not in Italy.
Yeah, in Italy, they're like sacred animals now.
So the Guardian continues, this is not the first time a pigeon has stirred controversy in Italy. In 2016, a celebrity chef preparing a dish involving pigeon meat on MasterChef Italy incited rage with animal rights activists who accused him of breaking the law, but no action was taken.
Pigeon meat? Why would you eat a pigeon? Okay.
So pigeon is squab, which is traditionally a pretty, like, pigeons were originally domesticated to be eaten.
Like Tyrone's chicken.
Yeah. Yes, right. Or Jones barbecue and foot massage. But then they just became a pest.
Ooh, some deep Baltimore jokes there. Oh, man. We're going to go right to Greenmount, right down York Road in Cold Spring. Whew.
God damn it.
Get you a 4-piece. Those were definitely pigeon wings. I don't care what you say. They were like this big.
Chicken first came popping and the wings are super small.
With that, yeah. Oh man.
God.
I'm sorry, man. But I don't know. I'll get the hype over being beefing over a pigeon.
Man.
And if you deep fry them,
He's
clearly
doubling
they're
down,
probably pretty good.
Probably, right. I'll try anything twice.
3 times. Some hot sauce.
That just screams a problem that only comes with money.
Yeah.
In court
Because
for killing a pigeon.
What is the fine?
He's very
You said that
passionate.
the fine was. I didn't actually look at it.
The article that I read said that it is instead of like it's a small fine and he's refusing to pay it. Now I don't know what a small
So just
fine
pay
means,
it, bro.
but he refuses to basically
Because he doesn't want to
admit
be labeled as a pigeon killer.
guilt. Exactly.
Because then he probably won't be welcome back in Italy.
I don't know. He stands by it though.
What is the equivalent to PETA in Italy? Because they're
In Italy,
only in Italy. He probably frequents Italy. You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
only in Italy are they getting mad because you killed pigeons.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
That really hurt.
Everywhere else in the world is like, thank God, one less we got to do.
I wish I could find what the fine
The dollar
is.
amount. You keep researching that.
Venice from an article from 2008 from Reuters. Starting Wednesday, it's illegal to start April 2008.
Yeah.
It's illegal to kill a pigeon in Venice, specifically St. Mark's Square. And the fine for ignoring the ban will be €50, which is about $55.
He's in the news over $55.
Oh, $54, sorry.
Talk about an Italian job.
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Jeez.
The vendors who sold grain to the tourists are now out of a job. Quote, thanks, Mr. Mayor, for killing off our business after 100 years of sales, read one banner.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. I just don't get the hoopla. Pigeons stink. They suck. They never get out of the way.
My God. All right. So that's going to bring us into the watch
We're
list
down on
part
our watch list.
of the
Are
category.
we at the good part of the show?
So, yeah. We saved the best for last.
You just want to do the one thing we both watched?
We did both watch The Last of Us, which I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't always happen. We don't always sync up on
And we'll
things.
just tell you.
It's really good. It's great. All right. So you texted everybody and you said a few things.
What'd I
A couple
say?
of big statements. One, you said you cried.
I did.
That was the first thing you said. Then the second thing you said was that you were going to go get a PS5 so that you could play.
Yeah. I'm in a hunt now.
He's
So
got to
that
go
you
to
could-
Target at his weekly Target run.
God, I hate that fucking
so that you could play The Last of Us.
Target. I hate it so much. I hate my Target. I hate the Owens Mills Target. I gotta go to the Pikesville Target.
Hey man, I'm not stopping you. So you did not get the PS5.
No, not yet.
right,
I'm in the
all
market though. I'm definitely
You're
in the market.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try and because now all the games are on sale.
I think you can track them down now. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen there's a 3-pack. There's 3 of them, right?
No. So there's
2.
part 1, part 2. They've remastered
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one came out on PlayStation 3. Then they remastered it for PlayStation 4, and then they rebuilt it from the
5.
ground up for 5,
frame by
that it
frame.
has 5 graphics.
Faster frame rate. and all
Yeah.
that.
It's
Yeah, I'm in the market. I'm in the market. Christmas is paid off. All the kids are happy. I can splurge on me now.
it's great.
So yeah. But back to the show. I never played the game, so I didn't know what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was so. It's very such an emotional tug. I didn't realize that's how it starts. It was crazy. I was just like, yeah, this is, and it's filmed in a way. It's really filmed in that first person, in those action scenes. It's filmed like you're watching it in a video game.
Yeah.
For instance, when they're trying to escape the city for the first time, and they drive down the road and they see that was like a shot from the game that I saw that comparison, and I was like, wow, they really did shoot it as if you're the character sitting in the car
When you
watching it.
play the first game, you will recognize a ton from the show.
Yeah.
Very, very faithful
on.
to the show,
Yeah.
to the game rather.
But I'm a big zombie advocate. Like I love zombie stuff. And I had to explain to my wife that the zombie genre has kind of moved away from zombies being the primary focus of the shows. And that they kind of now just kind of set the landscape. So she was like, all right, I watched the first one. And then we got like 20 minutes in. She was like, I can't do it. She bailed on me.
She bailed because it's not like it's scary, not her thing. She just
I think after she saw the old lady kind of freak out in the wheelchair, she was like, I can't do it. Yeah. And then today I was like, all right. She was like, what are y'all doing on the show today? I was like, probably gonna talk about Last of Us. And she was like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I think she saw like a preview of what they end up looking like. Yeah. And she's like, I can't do it. And I was like, oh,
it is intense.
Yeah. So. But all in all, man, it deserves the score that it got on Rotten Tomatoes, man.
It's very high. I think it has a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah.
And the audience score, I think, matches or is pretty close to that. So it's a very up there. It was on IMDb had it as the highest rated show of all time. I think now it's tied with Breaking Bad. It was above. It had a 9.6
for a video game inspired show.
But now I think it has a 9.5 or 9.4. Breaking Bad has a 9.5. But it's all based on like audience feedback, and I think like The Last of Us has like 50,000 votes, and like Breaking Bad has like 1.5 million or something. So good, obviously it could go up or down still depending on as votes come in. But
what were your thoughts?
Pretty remarkable. It's very, very well done. HBO did an amazing job. There's no doubt about that.
They got another one.
Yeah, it's it was hard to imagine them botching it. Just given the talent that they had behind it, it's very, very faithful to the video game in like 90% of the way, I would say, or like 90% of what you're seeing.
A lot of homage to it. Yeah.
It really like deviates. Like there's a couple like story pieces or narrative pieces that it deviates a little bit from, but it all circles back to the same conclusion as the video game. So, once you start playing it, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is like the exact same thing. Like there are shots that are literally shot for shot, line for line.
Yeah. I saw that.
Very, very
Instagram reel today of a few of the shots.
Yeah.
Particularly one where he finally meets Ellie. And they set out on their initial mission. Yeah. And she's like, your watch is broke. And like it was like a frame for frame of like that part of the game. I was like, oh, yeah,
it's very, very cool. And it's interesting because it's pretty quick paced.
Oh yeah.
So my understanding is that all of game 1 will take place in season 1.
Wow.
Which is pretty wild. Just because you think they would want to
stretch it
a little bit. But I guess the show creators, Craig Mazin or whatever his name was, and Neil Druckmann, they said that they don't want the show to like last for too long.
I don't know. Has there been talk of them creating a part 3 game wise?
So there is some talk about part 3. I would think that it's going to happen. I mean, if it's not already in development now. Neil Druckmann, who's the guy who did the first one and he did the second one and he's did the show. He has said that there is he has the story for part 3. But the problem is it takes so long to put the games together. Oh, yeah. Like the first one came out in 2013. And the second one came out in 2020.
Oof.
So
we won't get this one until 2025.
The effort behind those games in particular is really monumental because they're so.
You're creating a world.
It's so intricately done, like the level of detail and like the work that Naughty Dog, who's the developer, like the amount of time and energy and like effort that they put into those games is just it surpasses other developers by like leaps and bounds, like as far as like the level of detail and craft they put into it. So
this ain't Call of Duty.
It is a huge effort. Yeah, when they put those games out, they win like
Game of the Year,
every award there is. I mean, I think it's one of the most awarded games of all time is The Last of Us and the sequel part 2. I mean, they're just
bravo.
massive
Bravo,
hits.
yeah, I'm on board, man.
So yeah, I'm sure part 3, I was thinking about it, I was doing the math, I was adding the years up, part 3, season 3, kind of corresponding or, being similar in timeline. So if it came out in 2020, we're looking at maybe 2025, 2026 if they sped it up. But it's 2023 now.
So it had to have already been in the works. Yeah.
Season 2 would be 2024, 25. So I could see part 3 and season 3 coming out similar time, maybe.
Oof,
I don't know. I mean, maybe with the success of it, maybe they expand on season 2 and slow things down. Maybe.
That's what they ended up. I think that's what they did with the Walking Dead, because much like season 1 through like 4 are the first comic book.
Yeah.
And they just really slow
stretched it all out.
Stretched it out.
Yeah. So maybe they slow it down given the success. I don't know.
It says here that the first game was in production for about 4 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So 2009.
Right.
You can go in and graduate high school.
Yep. Yeah. So it takes a chunk of time.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll see. Yeah. So The Last of Us High Marks, man, I really enjoyed it. I'm super excited for the next episode. It'll be Sunday night. Looking forward to it. Emily's all in. I'm all in. It's great to have a new show on HBO that I'm excited about.
I'll be watching it by myself with my AirPod Max on.
That's great.
Desk.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
With my favorite blanket because no one will watch it with me.
You can come over here, man. We'll watch together.
Yeah, I might just do that.
All right.
Put the kids to bed. Come over here.
That's what I got. I did watch The Glass Onion.
I didn't get to that yet. I've been meaning to.
But we'll talk more about that next week. It's been out for a while, so we don't have to get into it this week. But I'll talk about it later. We'll wrap that up. We'll call this an episode. This was good.
Yeah, because we wasted like 30 minutes of the first taping.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to go into overtime this week.
I feel like we've been recording for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
OT, baby, OT.